ready to really like deep dive into Jay Shetty's 8 Rules of Love.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to be dissecting his book, pulling out like the juiciest bits on finding,
Yeah.
keeping, and letting go of love.
Yeah.
So it's part practical guide, part
Yeah.
philosophy, drawing on, ancient wisdom
Yeah.
and modern psychology.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is to really understand Shetty's unique framework,
Okay.
the 4 ashrams of love,
Right.
and arm you with some seriously actionable takeaways.
I love it.
Yeah.
Shetty's a master storyteller.
Yeah.
Like, he uses these really vivid anecdotes to illustrate his points.
Okay.
And there's this one about his own proposal that perfectly sets the stage for what he's trying to teach us about love.
Okay. Is this the one where his elaborate proposal backfired?
Yes.
There was something about a horse-drawn carriage.
Oh, yeah, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
Horse-drawn carriage, a cappella group singing, "Marry You," like the works. He wanted it to be this, like, epic romantic gesture. But here's the thing.
Okay.
His fiancée, Roddy, is severely allergic to horses.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
So this dream proposal turned into kind of a nightmare.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh, my God.
His fiancée is, like, in the middle of this grand spectacle breaking out in hives.
Uh-huh.
Her parents arrive
Oh, no.
to find her covered in red spots,
Oh, my goodness.
more worried about her health than the engagement.
That's both unfortunate and hilarious.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. It really sets up a key theme.
Exactly. Shetty's point is that love isn't about these, like, showy gestures.
Uh-huh.
It's about really understanding your partner's needs and values,
Yeah.
maybe even more than they understand them themselves sometimes.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So to build a loving relationship,
Mm-hmm.
we first have to understand ourselves
Right.
and what we value.
Absolutely.
That's where the 4 ashrams of love come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like stages in a relationship journey.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
So in Hindu tradition, the ashrams represent stages of life.
Uh-huh.
And Shetty uses them as a framework to understand the different stages we go through in our love journeys.
Okay, let's break it down.
Okay.
Ashram number 1, brahmacharya, is all about loving yourself.
Yes,
This feels like the foundation, right?
it is.
Yeah.
Shetty argues that you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
Building that solid foundation of self-love is crucial
Mm-hmm.
before you can truly love another person.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we actually cultivate self-love? What's step 1?
Well, Shetty emphasizes solitude,
Okay.
and he's careful to clarify that solitude isn't just being physically alone,
Right.
but really using that time intentionally.
Uh-huh.
It's about understanding your strengths,
Mm-hmm.
your weaknesses, your values.
Yeah.
Think about it like a personal retreat for your soul.
I get that.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, being alone with their thoughts can be intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
but he's arguing that's essential for growth, right?
Absolutely, those quiet moments alone.
Yeah.
They're actually training grounds for handling the ups and downs of any relationship.
Uh-huh.
Solitude builds that self-control and patience.
Right.
We need to make wise choices.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, sometimes avoid those impulsive decisions,
Right.
like elaborate proposals involving horses.
So basically, avoid proposing near anything that sneezes.
Exactly.
It's about getting to know ourselves deeply,
Right.
so we don't end up outsourcing our identity to a partner.
Mm-hmm.
We stop constantly seeking validation
Right.
or trying to mold ourselves into what we think they want.
Absolutely. It's not about becoming a hermit,
Right.
but recognizing that time alone allows us to connect with our own inner compass.
Yeah.
This helps us show up in relationships as whole individuals,
Mm-hmm.
not expecting our partner to complete us.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this sets the foundation for a healthier love life.
Yeah.
Now, Shetty has this self-assessment tool in the book, right?
does.
A way to kind of check in with ourselves
Mhm.
and see where we stand.
Yeah, it helps you gauge where you're at in terms of self-love
Okay.
and pinpoint areas where you might want to focus on growth.
So let's walk our listeners through it.
Okay.
So grab a pen and paper if you like,
Mm-hmm.
or just make a mental note as we go through these key areas.
Right.
Personality, emotional health, physical health, relationships, and money.
It's a good list.
And remember, this isn't about judgment.
Yeah.
It's about honest self-reflection.
Absolutely.
Oh,
So starting with personality,
okay.
how comfortable are you with who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Do you genuinely like yourself?
Okay.
If not, that might be an area to explore further.
Got it.
Okay.
Next, we look at emotional health.
Right. Right.
Do you understand and process your emotions,
Mm.
or do you tend to bottle them up?
Yeah.
Are you easily overwhelmed by anxiety? It's about recognizing how you handle your inner world.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Then we have physical health.
Okay.
This isn't about achieving some ideal body image, but how you treat your body.
Yeah.
Are you taking care of yourself?
Okay.
Nourishing yourself with healthy food and movement.
Got it.
Okay.
Let's not forget those relationships with friends and family. Do you invest time in these connections?
Yes.
Or are you more reliant on them for your happiness?
Right.
Okay.
And lastly, there's money.
Okay.
This is often a loaded topic, but Shetty encourages us to examine our relationship with it.
Right.
Does thinking about money cause anxiety? Or do you feel content and even motivated to give more?
Wow. That's a lot to consider.
It is.
Take a moment to reflect on your answers. What stands out?
Yep.
Are there any areas where you feel particularly strong? Or where you might want to work on things?
Right.
Remember, self-awareness is the first step towards positive change.
Absolutely.
Now, before we jump to ashram 2,
Right.
let's bring in another layer to this self-discovery journey.
Okay.
Karma.
Okay.
Shetty has a very specific perspective on karma and how it relates to love.
He views karma as a cycle of learning,
Okay.
not some cosmic punishment for bad deeds.
Right.
It's about understanding how past experiences, the choices we've made, observed, shape our present and future.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like a feedback loop.
Exactly. He uses the term samskaras
Okay.
to describe the impressions these experiences leave on us. Think of it as mental grooves created by repeated thoughts and actions.
Okay.
Almost like a subconscious blueprint.
Okay. I'm following.
Okay, good.
How does this apply to our relationships?
Well, think about your past relationships. Do you notice any repeating patterns?
Okay.
That might be your samskaras at work.
I see.
He gives the example of a client who kept attracting unavailable partners. Digging into her past, she realized a painful heartbreak early on
Yeah.
had created this samskara of expecting men to be emotionally distant.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy
Right.
based on past experiences.
Right. Shetty encourages us to look at our relationship patterns.
Yep. Okay.
What are we consistently attracting and why? What are those underlying samskaras driving our choices?
That's fascinating.
It is.
So by understanding our karma,
Yes.
those deep-seated impressions, we can start to break free from unhealthy patterns
Right.
and make more conscious decisions in love.
Absolutely.
It's like recognizing the program running in the background and choosing to rewrite it.
I love that.
Now, once we've done that inner work,
Okay.
Shetty says it's time to get real about our perceptions of love.
Yes.
Busting those romantic myths
Uh-huh.
we've picked up along the way.
Right. Absolutely. He dives into how media,
Okay.
especially movies, can warp our expectations of what love should look and feel like.
Right.
Think about the classic rom-com scenario.
Okay.
Love at first sight. Grand gestures, happily ever after.
Yeah, the Notting Hill effect.
Exactly.
But real love rarely plays out like that.
It's messier.
Yeah.
Less predictable.
Absolutely.
And Shetty points out those early loves, especially first loves, create powerful samskaras.
Yeah.
We experience everything so intensely.
Right.
And those impressions linger, influencing our future relationships,
Right.
even if they weren't healthy.
Yeah, it's like our first taste of something sets the standard.
Right.
Even if it wasn't the best example.
So how do we separate fantasy from reality when it comes to love?
Oh, wow.
How do we avoid chasing those Hollywood storylines?
Shetty emphasizes being present.
Okay.
Connecting with what's genuinely in front of you, not some idealized image.
Right.
He even talks about being mindful of the context where we meet people.
Okay.
Meeting someone at a wedding where love is in the air. It might create a more romanticized perception than meeting them at the grocery store.
I see what you mean.
Right.
We need to be aware of those external influences.
And how they might be coloring our judgment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, this leads us to a fascinating concept in the book.
Okay.
The idea of opulences.
Opulences.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's like being at a singles mixer where everyone's putting on their best show. Shetty says,
Okay.
are you attracting someone who loves the performance or the person underneath?
Okay.
It's about what we use to impress potential partners. This could be wealth, status, appearance, even intelligence.
So it's like a peacock flashing its feathers.
Exactly.
But we might not be attracting someone who values us for who we truly are.
Exactly. If we haven't figured out what's truly valuable about ourselves, we might end up chasing the wrong things in a partner.
Right.
If you lead with wealth,
Yeah.
you might attract someone who values you for that,
Okay.
not for your personality or values.
Okay, this is making me think.
Yeah.
What qualities am I showcasing?
Right.
Are those aligned with what I genuinely value? It's like we need to do an inventory of what we're putting out there.
Right. And this ties back to the importance of knowing yourself.
Oh, wow.
What qualities are you genuinely proud of?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the qualities you should be showcasing.
Okay.
Yeah.
This feels like the perfect segue into Ashram to Grasa,
Okay. Yeah.
where we shift from self-love to the complexities of loving another person.
Yes. Things are about to get real.
Okay.
We're moving beyond that initial attraction phase
Mm-hmm.
into the territory of building lasting connection.
And Shetty has some pretty crucial advice for this stage.
Mm-hmm.
He says, define love before you think it, feel it, or say it.
I love that.
Right.
It's so profound.
Yeah.
Love can mean different things to different people.
Right.
If you haven't clarified what love looks like to you, what you expect from a partner, you're setting yourself up for a world of misunderstandings,
Right.
potentially even heartbreak.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So self-love is the homework.
Before we even start dating,
Yes.
we need to define our non-negotiables, our needs,
Right.
expectations, ND boundaries,
Absolutely.
and then equally important, communicate that to your partner.
Of course.
I can see how those conversations might feel a little daunting early on,
Yeah.
especially when things are still new and exciting.
It can be vulnerable,
Right.
but by being intentional early on,
Uh-huh.
we set the stage for a love that's built on mutual understanding and respect, not just fleeting infatuation.
Okay, so we've defined love, or at least started to.
Right.
Now, Shetty breaks down the journey of love into 4 distinct phases. This is about how we connect, not just romantically,
Right.
but in all meaningful relationships.
Yes. He says these are cycles we go through repeatedly as we connect with others.
Okay, walk me through these phases. I'm curious to see what he's observed.
Phase 1, as you might expect, is attraction.
Uh-huh.
That initial spark, the intrigue. It's fueled by brain chemistry.
Okay.
Those feel-good hormones like dopamine and norepinephrine.
So it's that exhilarating,
Yes.
almost addictive feeling.
It is. But he cautions against mistaking this initial chemistry for lasting love.
Okay.
It's just the first step, invitation to explore further.
So we can't build a lasting relationship on butterflies alone.
No.
What comes after that initial spark fades a bit.
Phase 2 is dreams.
Okay.
This is where we start building those shared visions for the future, imagining a life together, projecting all our hopes and desires onto this new connection.
It's the honeymoon phase where
Yes.
everything seems possible, perfect,
Yes.
right?
But Shetty reminds us that dreams are just that. Dreams,
Okay.
they need to be grounded in reality.
So how do we move from those dreamy visions to a more solid foundation? How do we know if this is real or just a fantasy?
That's where phase 3 comes in.
Okay.
Struggle and growth. This is where those inevitable challenges arise.
Right.
The moments when you realize you're not perfectly aligned. It tests compatibility and commitment.
So it's make or break time.
It is.
We decide if we're willing to put in the work to navigate those differences.
Exactly. It's about confronting the everyday realities
Yeah.
of being in a relationship with another human being, moving beyond the initial fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you both choose to work through those challenges, hopefully you emerge stronger on the other side.
Yes.
But what's the reward for all that work?
Phase 4,
Okay.
trust.
Okay.
This is the feeling of safety and security with your partner, knowing you can rely on them emotionally, physically, financially.
It's that deep sense of knowing. You're in it together through thick and thin.
Yes.
But trust isn't a one-time achievement, right?
He emphasizes that trust is built gradually, day by day, through consistent actions and honest communication. It's like a muscle you have to keep strengthening.
This makes me think of his 3-date rule.
Right.
It's a framework for those early stages of dating, right?
It is.
It's a brilliant structure for gathering the right information and assessing compatibility early on. Each date has a specific focus.
Yeah.
Okay, break it down for those of us who might be back in the dating game.
Okay.
Date number 1, what's the mission?
Date 1 is all about personality.
Okay.
Having fun, seeing if there's a natural flow in conversation, a sense of ease and enjoyment in each other's company.
So no grilling them with interview questions?
No.
Just keeping it light,
Right.
playful, seeing if there's that initial spark?
Exactly. But he does suggest some conversation starters
Okay.
to help move beyond superficial small talk.
Oh, okay.
Things like, what's occupying your thoughts most at the moment? Or is there a book or movie you've read or seen more than once?
I like those.
Yeah.
They invite the other person to share a bit of their inner world without being too intrusive.
Right.
And we should pay attention to how they respond to our answers, right?
Absolutely. Do they seem genuinely curious about you? Are they actively listening and engaging?
Yeah.
That's a key indicator.
Okay, so we've established we enjoy their company. What's the focus for date number 2?
Date 2 is all about values.
Okay.
It's about digging a little deeper, understanding their beliefs, their priorities,
Yeah.
those core principles that guide their actions.
So this is where things get a little more serious.
It's-
We're gauging compatibility on a more foundational level.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
what kind of questions does he suggest for this stage?
He recommends asking things like, what are you most grateful for in your life?
Okay.
Or what's something you wish you knew more about? Or even, what's the most difficult lesson you've had to learn?
I like how those questions encourage the other person to reflect and share a bit of their vulnerability. It's about seeing how their values align with your own.
Absolutely.
And remember, it's a two-way street.
Of course.
Be willing to share your own answers with equal honesty.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay.
So we've got a sense of their personality. We've explored their values. What's the final frontier for date number 3?
Date 3 is about goals,
Okay.
both short-term and long-term. Understanding their aspirations, their career ambitions, family plans, dreams for personal growth.
This is where you assess whether you're on a similar path in life.
Yes.
Seeing if your visions for the future are compatible. It goes beyond romantic ideals and into the practical aspects of building a life together.
Exactly.
Okay.
He suggests asking questions like, what are you working towards right now in any area of your life? Or what does success look like to you?
Yeah.
Or even, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Okay, so we've navigated those initial stages. We're feeling good about the connection.
So now let's move into Ashram 3.
Okay.
Vanaprastha.
Yes.
This is where we move beyond just the couple
Right.
and expand love to include a
Yeah.
shared sense of purpose, right?
Right.
Something bigger than just the two of you.
It's about recognizing the importance of each person's individual purpose, their dharma, and how that contributes to the relationship itself.
So it's not about sacrificing individual growth
Right.
for the relationship, but creating space for both partners to flourish.
Exactly. When both partners are living their purpose,
Uh-huh.
they bring more energy, passion, and meaning to everything.
Yeah.
Like each person has their own fire, and those flames feed the larger fire of the relationship.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that tool he provides, the pyramid of purpose.
Yes.
This pyramid outlines 5 key levels to guide you on your purpose journey.
Yeah.
Let's climb that pyramid, shall we?
Let's do it.
Level 1, passion.
How do we uncover what truly lights us up?
He encourages paying attention to those activities that energize you. The things you do, even if you weren't getting paid. What do you lose yourself in?
Okay.
What brings genuine joy?
I love that.
Yeah.
Reconnecting with that inner spark of excitement, the things that maybe got buried under adult responsibilities.
Right. Okay. Yes. Once we've identified those passions, we move to level 2.
Okay.
Skill.
Okay.
This is about recognizing your natural talents, those things that come easily to you, where you excel naturally.
It's about recognizing our strengths.
Yes.
Those abilities that make us feel confident and capable.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right. And then level 3, learning.
Okay.
This is where we expand our knowledge and expertise
Yeah.
in those areas where our passions and skills intersect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm passionate about writing and have a knack for storytelling, maybe I take a creative writing class or read books by master storytellers.
Exactly. It's about actively seeking opportunities
Yeah.
to learn and grow in those areas that feel aligned with your purpose.
Then comes level 4,
Okay.
experimentation.
Yes.
We put our learning into practice, Try things out, test the waters without the pressure of perfection.
Shetty encourages embracing this phase with a playful,
I like that.
curious spirit.
Yeah.
It's about giving yourself permission to make mistakes, to try different approaches, see what resonates.
It's the pressure off.
Right.
And allows us to be more creative in our exploration.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And finally, level 5, thriving.
Okay.
This is where we take consistent action, building expertise and mastery in our chosen purpose.
So this is where passion meets skill.
Yes.
Fueled by knowledge and honed through experimentation.
Exactly. It's about dedicating ourselves to our purpose, pursuing it with consistency and commitment.
Now, all of this applies to both partners, right?
Yeah.
This isn't a solo mission. It's about supporting each other's growth and purpose.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
Shetty argues that love isn't about sacrificing individual growth for the relationship. It's about creating space for both partners to flourish.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
But sometimes our partner's purposes might conflict with our own.
Right.
Or the needs of the relationship. How do we navigate those moments?
Yeah. He uses this great analogy.
Okay.
He talks about being each other's guru, a supportive guide and mentor on their purpose journey.
Interesting. So it's about encouraging your partner's growth, celebrating their successes, and offering a listening ear during those inevitable struggles.
Right. It's about offering guidance and support.
Okay.
Not dictating their path.
So how do we embody this guru role in practical, everyday ways?
First, be a keen observer. Pay attention to those moments when your partner lights up, when they talk passionately about something. Notice what brings them joy, what their strengths are.
So it's about really seeing them, tuning into their excitement, and recognizing their unique talents.
Exactly. And then, based on your observations, offer encouragement and affirmation.
So if my partner loves to cook, and has a knack for creating delicious meals, maybe I encourage them to take a cooking class or start a food blog.
Precisely. It's about gently nudging them towards opportunities that align with their passions and skills.
But we don't want to be pushy or controlling in this process, right?
No.
It's their purpose to discover.
Their purpose is theirs to own.
Right.
Your role is to offer guidance and support, not to dictate their path.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're observing, encouraging, affirming. What else can we do to be supportive gurus?
Give them the gift of time and space. Pursuing a purpose takes time and energy, often requiring adjustments to schedules and priorities.
This is where things can get tricky, right?
It can.
Especially when juggling work, family, personal life.
He acknowledges the challenges.
Okay.
But stresses having open conversations. About how to create that space for each other.
So it's about collaborating, finding a rhythm that works for both of you.
Right.
Not easy, but possible.
Right. He gives an example of a couple where one partner was passionate about education, wanted to dedicate more time to building his online learning platform.
Khan Academy.
Yes, you've heard of that.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Okay.
It's a huge resource for students worldwide.
Right.
But what happened? Did it work out?
His wife recognized his passion and was willing to support his vision, even though it meant some sacrifices.
Right.
They communicated. They made compromises. They prioritized what truly mattered.
Yeah.
And in the end, supporting his purpose actually benefited their relationship in the long run.
It's about recognizing that sometimes investing in each other's growth and fulfillment leads to a happy, thriving relationship overall.
Absolutely.
It's not always easy.
No.
But it's worth it.
It is.
But what about those times when our partner hits those inevitable roadblocks in their purpose journey? How do we help them navigate those challenges?
That's where our guru role becomes even more important.
Okay.
We need to be a steady source of support.
So we're a listening ear.
Yes.
Without judgment or criticism.
Right. Just holding space for their frustrations and doubts. Without trying to fix them or offer unsolicited advice.
I can see how that would be valuable.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need to process their feelings without being pressured to have all the answers.
Absolutely.
We just remind them their struggles don't diminish their worth.
Right. And no guilt trips.
Yeah.
Or overly optimistic pep talks.
Right.
It's about meeting them where they're at. Acknowledging their difficulties without dismissing their feelings.
So what can we do instead?
He suggests offering gentle nudges towards new approaches or resources, maybe sharing a book or article you think might be helpful.
Okay.
But ultimately, it's about respecting their autonomy and their process.
So we're observing, encouraging, giving space.
Right.
Being supportive listeners during their struggles.
Yeah.
Any other guru tips to keep in mind?
Be patient.
Okay.
Finding and pursuing a purpose is rarely straightforward.
Right.
It's a winding road with detours and unexpected challenges.
Yeah, we need to embrace the journey with them.
Yes.
Allowing them to experiment, make mistakes, and find their own way, right?
And communicate openly throughout this process.
Okay.
Share your observations, concerns, hopes for their growth, but always with respect.
That feels like a good place to pause and reflect.
It is.
Where are you on your purpose journey?
Yeah.
What are those passions and skills that light you up? And how can you support your partner's dharma, their unique purpose?
It's a continual process of discovery and growth.
Right.
Take some time to journal about these questions, discuss them with your partner, or simply sit with these thoughts and see what emerges.
The journey is just as important as the destination.
Absolutely.
Embrace those challenges, those detours, those moments of uncertainty. They're all part of the beautiful tapestry of your purpose.
And as we move into Ashram 4, we'll explore how that individual and shared purpose can expand even further.
Okay.
Encompassing a wider community in the world around us.
I'm ready to see where this love journey takes us next. Okay, so we've explored Shetty's philosophy of love, unpacked those 4 ashrams, and even touched on the complexities of heartbreak.
Right.
Now I'm ready for the toolkit.
Right.
What practical advice does Shetty offer to actually bring these 8 rules of love to life? It's one thing to understand the concepts, but how do we integrate them into our daily lives?
One of the biggest tools Shetty emphasizes is mindfulness.
Okay.
Cultivating that present moment awareness so we can make more conscious choices.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to love.
So we're talking about paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, actions, even our body language when interacting with our loved ones.
Right.
It's like hitting the pause button before reacting.
Exactly. And he provides some specific mindfulness techniques.
Okay.
Including meditation.
Okay. To help us cultivate this awareness, meditation, that's not surprising.
Right.
Shetty's a big advocate for meditation.
He is.
What kind of practices does he recommend?
He includes guided meditations in the book.
Okay.
Specifically designed to enhance our capacity for love and connection.
Okay.
There are simple breathing exercises, visualizations focused on self-compassion, gratitude, even forgiveness.
I'm really intrigued by the self-compassion meditations.
Yeah.
It's so easy to be hard on ourselves.
Right.
Especially in relationships. Learning to be kind to ourselves feels crucial.
Absolutely. He guides you through practices where you send loving kindness to yourself.
Okay.
Acknowledging your strengths. Embracing your imperfections.
Right.
It's about shifting from that inner critic to a more nurturing voice.
I can see how that would make a huge difference in how we approach relationships. It's hard to offer love to others if we're constantly beating ourselves up, right?
He also offers meditations focused on enhancing empathy.
Oh, okay.
Helping us to understand our partner's perspective, even when we disagree.
That's so important.
It is.
Empathy is the foundation of any healthy relationship, but it can be challenging, especially during those heated moments.
Right.
So how do those meditations work?
They guide you to step into your partner's shoes.
Okay.
See the situation through their eyes. Feel their emotions.
It's about stretching that muscle of compassion and understanding.
This is resonating with me. Like we're training our minds to be more open and less reactive.
Right.
Okay, I'm adding those meditations to my list.
Okay.
Now, Shetty also talks a lot about gratitude. Right?
Yes, he does.
And not just as a feeling, but as an active practice.
He argues that gratitude is like a muscle we need to exercise.
Okay.
It's about noticing and appreciating the good things, big and small.
Right.
Instead of focusing on what's missing.
So it's not just saying thank you.
No.
But cultivating an overall sense of appreciation.
Yeah.
Even for the things we take for granted.
Right. He suggests things like keeping a gratitude journal. Where you write down a few things you're grateful for each day.
Okay.
Or even just taking a moment each evening to reflect on the things that brought you joy.
I love that.
Yeah?
It's like training our brain to look for the good.
Right.
Instead of getting caught up in the negative. Exactly. And of course, Expressing gratitude to those we love. Letting them know how much we appreciate them.
Making those expressions of appreciation a regular part of our interactions, not just saving them for special occasions.
Exactly. It could be a handwritten note, a genuine compliment, or simply saying, I love you, and meaning it.
It's about making those we love feel seen and valued.
Yes.
It seems so simple, but we often forget to do it.
I do.
And Shetty reminds us that those expressions of gratitude not only strengthen our relationships, but also boost our own happiness.
That's like everyone benefits.
Yeah.
We feel good.
Yeah.
And the people around us feel good.
Now, along with gratitude, Shetty also talks about forgiveness, forgiving ourselves and others.
He acknowledges that forgiveness can be one of the hardest things to do, especially when we've been hurt.
Right.
But he argues that it's crucial for our own emotional well-being and for the health of our relationships.
It makes sense. Yeah. Holding on to anger and resentment is toxic. It's like a heavy weight we carry around that drains our energy and keeps us stuck in the past.
And he's clear that forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the hurtful behavior or minimizing our pain.
Right.
It's about choosing to let go of that hurt, creating space for healing and peace.
So it's more about releasing ourselves from the grip of those negative emotions.
Yes.
Not about saying what happened was okay.
Exactly. He suggests practices like writing a letter of forgiveness. Expressing everything you're feeling, but without sending it.
It's like releasing that negativity. Allowing ourselves to move on.
He also emphasizes self-forgiveness. Recognizing that we all make mistakes. And holding on to guilt and shame only hinders our growth.
So we need to be kind to ourselves, learn from our mistakes, and move on.
Exactly. He reminds us that forgiveness, like love, is a journey, not a destination. It's a process that takes time and a willingness to let go.
This whole conversation is making me realize how much work goes into building healthy, loving relationships.
It does require effort.
Yeah.
And part of that effort is learning to communicate effectively, to build those bridges of understanding and connection.
Speaking of communication, that's where things often break down in relationships. What communication tips does Shetty offer?
He emphasizes active listening. Truly tuning into what your partner is saying, both verbally and non-verbally, without interrupting or immediately formulating your response.
So it's about giving our partner our full attention. Showing them we value their perspective and feelings.
Absolutely.
What else?
He suggests reflecting back what we've heard to ensure understanding. Asking clarifying questions. And using I statements to express our feelings and needs without blaming or accusing.
It's about creating a safe space for honest and open dialogue, where both partners feel heard and understood.
He also encourages us to be mindful of our tone of voice and body language, making sure our words align with our intentions, conveying respect and care, even during disagreements.
It's a good reminder that how we say something is just as important as what we say. Sometimes our tone can completely undermine our message.
It can.
And he stresses making time for connection outside of those problem-solving conversations, shared activities, dates, or moments of quiet intimacy and affection.
It's about keeping those sparks alive. Remembering to have fun and enjoy each other's company.
As we wrap up this deep dive into 8 rules of love, I think it's important to remember this is a lifelong journey.
It is.
It's not about achieving some perfect state of love. Or finding a magic formula for a flawless relationship.
It's about embracing those imperfections. Those challenges, those moments of growth that make love such a rich and rewarding experience.
And continually showing up for ourselves, our partners, and for those we love. Choosing love in every interaction.
Exactly. It's about cultivating those practices that nurture connection, compassion, and understanding. Recognizing that love is not a destination, but a journey we walk together, supporting each other every step of the way.
It's beautiful imagery. And as Shetty reminds us, the love we cultivate within ourselves has the power to transform not just our relationships, but the world around us.
So true. Go out there and love bravely. Love authentically. And love unconditionally.
This deep dive has given me so much to think about.
Good.
And so many practical tools to try. I'm feeling inspired to weave these insights into my life.
I hope so.
Thank you for taking this journey with us.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable wisdom
Mm-hmm.
to help you on your own path of love and discovery.
Remember, love is a verb.
Yes.
That's a choice we make every day.
Powerful.
Choose wisely, choose bravely, and choose love.